Okay, today's question is brought to us by SavJazz21. You need to go check out his channel. He is the Noob Lord, and he gives you the noob experience. And he is very funny and great to listen to, and very well versed in the games he plays. We play a lot of the same games. Some games we don't play. I've done some streams with him. We've played some games together. He's a great person. So, as far as one can tell. Because he might have a dark secret. He might be the Dark Lord. One never knows. Anyway, so his question is what is the ultimate game made by me, Shardvixen, and what kind of games do I like? This kind of goes in hand with, Final Fantasy one that I already did, but I thought it's okay. It'd be good that we put them together. I redid my hair. I'm in a depressed low, so I'm very, very tired. And then fibromyalgia compounds it. So all I want to do is sleep. I want to crawl in my little bed and my blankets and become one with them. And we'd be, a happy little family. My daughter saw this quote I thought was really cute. I don't remember it completely, but it's, "My blankets have accepted me as one of my own, and I do not wish to offend them by leaving them." That's how I feel today. Anyway, so, I actually, interesting enough, is, okay, so for the people who follow me know I play No Man's Sky. For those who might be new and this is your first time and you're like, what does a fox say? Probably is going to surprise you anyway. So, No Man's Sky it has an ARG going on, which I'm completely lost in now, so I have no idea what's going on. I know there's files that were sent, but other than that, don't know. Anyway, so, but they had the very beginning of this Waking Titan. I don't know why I say it's Sleeping Titan, because that's what everybody thought. There was a headset that would monitor your dreams, like you could play games while you were sleeping. And they wanted developers to come up with games that you could use this headset with. I have always thought that a really fun idea for a game would be like a Tomb Raider mixed with a survival game in which you had puzzles that you had to solve. So you not only did you have to learn how to survive, like you're out on these excavation sites and you have to be able to survive and take stuff with you on your spaceship, or portal ship as I would call it, and you would go from, alright, so let's go back to the beginning. So the beginning of the story would be, the beginning of the game is, you are going to become a space ranger explorer, and you go through the schooling thing, and they give you maps to start you out, and you have to use the maps to craft your stuff to get you from planet to planet and to get you through portal to portal. And it wouldn't just be space, though. It would be different realities as well. So you could go to a different reality where everybody's unicorns, and you'd have to follow this path. And what the backstory is like Fifth Element. There's this huge bad guy coming to destroy and eat all the realities, and you have to go through and solve the puzzles of this reality. That's one part of it. And then the other part is that you have to create a school or more space rangers, these little teams that go out and do this. Now, where the cooperative part of it would be is that you could either play with NPCs or you could play with your friends. So, like, one of you could be the space ranger, and one of you could be who dictates the exploration, and one of you could be the military guy, and one of you could be the language guy, and one of you could be the, I should say gal, but I don't care. Guy to me is male, female. Dude's a male or female. I don't genderize things. I only do it when other people get upset about it. And then another one maybe would be understanding types of art, puzzle stuff. And you guys all had to work together to get through the puzzle. And the NPCs that you play with would already, of course, have the puzzles, but it would be based on your level. And then you would go from, you would learn not only the codes, not only the whatever puzzle for that planet or reality or system, but also a way to get next star charts and to the next reality. And so you'd go through one set of reality, maybe that'd be the human reality, and at the end, when you got to that one, the next portal you would go through would take you, the next piece of the puzzle would take you to another reality. And you would go through all these realities till you got to the bad guy's reality to learn about the people who were leaving, these ancient people that were leaving information for you, and what the bad guy was. And then you'd solve the problem. So that's kind of my idea of an ultimate game. Kind of like, the plus of it would be is that you could just keep adding realities. So the game kind of technically would never end. Or you could just opt out, that any given time there'd be this opt out where you could just, like, I've solved enough, I build my college, and that's it. I'm happy, and I'm going to pass it on to the next person. So your little spot, your base, would become a place where people could come and get information or whatever to build up to the next one or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a game developer. I'm a story writer. I write stories. And I have plenty of stories that are like that. So I have the one I'm writing right now, which hasn't gotten into the computer to be put on Discord yet because it's hard to type that long. Has to do with the kind of the same ideas. You had these beings who were human at one time, and their knowledge took them so high that they could create worlds and systems. And one of them, as a child, was so intelligent that she created this thing called the sideways path. And the sideways path allowed you to take one step over and be in a whole new reality. And so she does that, and she ends up creating this world, and it's her beloved world. She loves it. But then they figure out a way over thousands of eons of time how to trap her as energy. So when she comes to visit the planet again, they trap her on that planet, and she can't get back to the sideways path to get back to her normal reality. And so that's what the story Cage is about. And so that's kind of that concept. And then another concept would be, I have one called, oh hell, I forgot the name of it. It'll come to me. Anyway, the main character in it is a golem. They made these clone bodies, and they stick programs into them, and they're temporary slaves to the rest of humanity. Because humanity got to a point where they didn't want to do the yucky stuff, so they created they had the technology, so they create these like android creatures. But something happens. Mostly military and space ranging kind of stuff, and something happens to this one, well, a bunch of golems, there's a bunch of them that happens, and it triggers them to actually become more like artificial intelligence, but more like real intelligence. And then they separate and scatter out through the universe, and the military, kind of the military, they're not really a military, they're more like a nation upon themselves that governs that keeps control in the universe. And they have this thing going on in the background. I can't remember now, because I can't remember the name of my story. Okay, so it's called Promise. And it's a whole universe. And Promise was created because of Chronicles, because of Pitch Black and Riddick and that kind of thing. Kind of. So, Promise, there's 7 virtues. 13 virtues. Anyway, there's virtues, and Promise is part of that. And the virtues were these elites, like android things that were created. I know I'm rambling, but that's how my stories are. They're like rambling. Every one of the stories, I don't know if you can see all those back there. You see them all back there? Those are all stories. every one of the stories is triggered by something I see that I didn't get an answer to, so I create an answer for myself, or a thought that, like, you know, what if computers became AIs? Would you need a would you need a psychologist for them? Like, would they have mental health issues like human beings would? Would they have more or less? What if the gods, or God, whichever you want to say, left us clues to get to space, to get to the original homeworld? I mean, some of it are stories that other people have written, like Battlestar Galactica, greatly influenced. I have an idea for, I read a lot of, which you'll find out, I read a lot of romance stories in the supernatural settings. And I thought, what if you had supernatural shape changers in space? And there are a couple writers who have done that too. So I have some stories that are like that. I just have, mostly the stories are triggered by a question. So I think a game would be based on a story that was triggered by a question. And an ultimate game that I would want to play, me, because this is how we're going to segue into the games I like, are survival games. I like Final Fantasy, not a real survival game. But I like that whole, you start from one place and you have to survive, and you have to learn how to do all these things to get to this other place, whatever the end part is. And it's okay if it takes me forever to get to the end part. I don't want to see somebody else's end part. I want to see mine. And I really enjoy puzzles in games, where you really have to think about how to solve the puzzle to get the information that adds to another puzzle, that adds to another puzzle. I really like those kind of games. Tomb Raider was one of my favorite games in the 90s because of that, because that's how that was. She'd find one piece of information that then took her someplace else to find another piece of information, that you put the two pieces of information together to keep going along until you solve the puzzle. I like those. I'm not smart enough for most of them, but I enjoy them. And I kind of like writing that concept too. I like writing about stories that there's this question, and then you have these clues that you go along that solve those things. So games that I like, I kind of hit on this before, but I'm always going to be talking about them because gaming is a big part of my life. I mean, my channel wasn't created really with the idea of me just playing video games, but it's how I started out, because I couldn't figure out how to get from A, B, C, D without starting with one thing, so I started with playing games. And if you go back to the first year or so, I was playing quite a few games. I'm not playing as many of them right now because I'm still getting the OBS up, but once the OBS is up, every day of the week I will play a game. I will probably stream it. I don't know if I'll stream it for 2 hours or not. I haven't decided. And then that'll show you the kind of games that I enjoy. Now, I've picked up some games I've not played before, so I don't know if I'm going to enjoy them or not. Like BioShock. I got BioShock for all of them so far. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy that one or not. Deep Space. I played Deep Space 1. I'm not sure I'm going to like Deep Space 2. Don't know if I have Deep Space 3 yet. I bought Mass Effect. I enjoyed. Bought Andromeda. I like stories that make you pick a part to it. Like, which way are you going to go? Are you going to... Like, I played Horizon Zero Dawn, and she had a choice to kill the guy or save the guy. I like that. I like that whole... But I want the... If that's the case, I really do want a separation. I don't want it to be cosmetic. I don't want... Are you going to save this person? And you say yes, but in the end, the gameplay is the same if you had said no. It's kind of a cosmetic question for you, the player, but not really has any direct reflection to the gameplay. I want direction to the gameplay. If you're going to put the question in there, there ought to be, you know, there ought to be some kind of separation. If there isn't going to be a separation, really, it's just going to, it better look really good. And I'm wondering, like in Horizon Zero Dawn, because I choose to save the guy, and now he's going to go and, you know, help me save his family. It truly is just a cosmetic question, but they're going to make it look like it's not. That'll be kind of interesting. Those are okay because they kind of make it look like it, but it's really those games where you played one way, then you go back and play it again a totally different way and realize it didn't change anything. Those annoy me. As a Dragon Age does that to me quite a bit. I still play the games because I enjoy them. I enjoy the story I did. I enjoy that whole interaction that you can have. And I like watching, I like going back and playing the earlier games and watching that succession of how technology has improved the game in certain ways, or not improved. It depends on the game, of course. As they're able to do more and more stuff in development, and we're moving in that direction. Some people have said that games aren't really as good as they were before. I kind of think that's a thing that we always have, that we compare things to the beforehand because it's easy because you can't change that. I like growth. I like watching things go. Maybe I don't always enjoy the direction that the developers decide to go with the game. That's fine. Like I said, I bought Mass Effect Andromeda. A lot of people really liked the game. I mean, a lot of people were annoyed with it. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of the people that liked all the other three really liked the game. They were just upset that the developers didn't seem to like their game as much. That can be very annoying. So what other games? So, yeah, if I could play a game, I like games where if you're going to pay such an outrageous price for them, you're gonna, and I get it because they have to pay the developers and they have to pay, and you got to make some money to keep your company going, because if you don't have money to keep your company going, then the company doesn't keep going and you can't produce any more games. So I don't have a problem with buying the game. I just can't always buy it brand new. But if you're gonna buy a game and it's gonna cost you, the same amount of money as taking your family out to dinner or going to the movies and going to dinner with a special person, or trying to think what I could get with $60. Whole bunch of books, could probably get 3 or 4 books with them. I get a lot of comic books, that's for sure. Get a lot of cheap, I could get a lot of candy and soda. But when you're weighing that, I could fill the car gas tank twice and go someplace and come back. When you're looking at that weighing out of the money versus the entertainment, I really want a lot of entertainment from the games that I'm buying. Some games are just cute. Unbox, I play with my son. It's just kind of a cute game. Doesn't really have a beginning or ending as I can see. He says if you play it single player, it does. Platform games, I like platform games. I'm just not very good at them. They get really hard for me because I can't maneuver myself very well on them. So, not really my thing as much as role-playing. I really like role-playing games. I've liked them since I was really small. I wrote a small blog about it on Nemo Hub that I'm part of, and that how playing games, role-playing games when I was young, was just as much fun as playing role-playing games as adult. I think that fantasy has a big grab on me. Anyway, so check out SavJazz21, the great and powerful noob lord. Sub to him, if you like his content. That's what you're supposed to say. I don't really encourage people to sub to me. I know people are all like, you either like me or you don't. If you like me, sure. If you don't, that's fine too. You only come in to see this particular thing, that's fine. You go with other ones, that's fine too. Anyhow, next week will be my 75th vlog. I'm thinking of doing something a little different. I'm not sure yet. Maybe talk about how it is about vlogging. I haven't decided. It'll depend on how I feel. E3 is also going to be going on, so that's a lot of stuff going on there. Be sure to check out Cobra TV to learn about how, if you're a No Man's Sky person, about the conversion 2018 Internet Con for No Man's Sky. That'll be fun. You should check them out. I'm making certificates for that. They're having a contest, so check it in. It's not too late to join that. And peace. I will catch you all on the flip side. Remember, game hard and have fun. Peace. Oh, I can't use that hand. You know better.